What's going on, everybody?
Hello and welcome to the Shells and Cheese podcast. I'm Amanda A., your co-host, the Cupcake, and I wanted to do the intro today because it's my birthday this week on Monday, October 27th, and I'm very excited. We're talking about our favorite childhood movie today, Legend. Now, this is Ridley Scott's 1985 gothic fantasy, complete with fairies, goblins, unicorns, and the actual devil. Played by the iconic Tim Curry, also starring Tom Cruise, Mia Sara, and a bunch of great character actors. Now, there are a few versions of the movie out there, but we're not trying to compare and contrast all the different versions and soundtracks, and we don't really give a shit what score it got on Rotten Tomatoes. We are here to talk about how much we truly enjoyed this movie. There's plenty of other movies or videos out here on YouTube that want to talk about that and want to talk about all the little facts. But we just adored this movie so much as kids. We quickly set about memorizing the entire script. And for us, that was the US theatrical version. So that had the Tangerine Dream soundtrack. And that's what we grew up with. It was really magical. And the music, the glitter covered sets, and the amazing effects makeup, we were transported to a dark, yet silly and fantastical world that we never tired of. So, Kelly, my friend, take us through the story of Legend.
Yes, good. Good shit, man. I am so happy to be here. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my best friend.
Thank you.
CHEEZ. Yay, happy birthday, best friend. She's more of a sister than a best friend, so, but I'm excited for you to have a wonderful day and you get to hopefully do all the good things you've been wanting to do, hopefully just within the day. So enjoy that. And it's no better way to start the show off with, of course, your favorite movie. Of course, it's one of my favorite movies, but I know it's definitely more of the iconic favorite movie for you. So yes, let's take the journey down the road to our favorite. And I would say this is definitely our top number one favorite movie is Legend. Legend, basically, of course, a young Tom Cruise and Mia Sara. And, for this movie here, just from me, again, finding my crush in Tom Cruise. And of course, being that Tom was in other movies like The Outsiders, of course, but this was one that basically showed him in a different light. And I think this is where it really started my obsession for Tom. I had such a really huge crush on Tom. I still love Tom Cruise. I do. As at this age, I don't care what he does with Scientology. But this one here was it was so light and dark. It was the fantasy of. And I think it also set a tone for me to really appreciate the world of fantasy. And being that as a kid watching other movies of fantasy like the Dark Crystal and just other things of like even Back to the Wizard of Oz, this one sets the tone for me because it really
What's
is
so funny?
iconic.
I never had any idea you were crushing on Tom. You never let that was your little secret because I never knew that. That's so funny. Because I was all about the devil, and you were just like, that's cute.
Yeah. I'm like, Tom's got to save the day for me, man. Now, being that, of course, with Tom doing this movie, as a lot of people may not know, he hated doing this movie. He hated this movie. Like, this is one on his list that he doesn't like.
I looked a little bit more into that because I knew that, and I was like, I really want to learn more about that because that's kind of strange, I think. And like, it turns out his father died while he was filming this movie. So I think that really, and he said like they didn't really accommodate his needs as to like seeing his father or the funeral or something like that. Like they didn't really like let him have time off or something. And I think that colored his attitude. about it. I think that's personally was maybe the problem.
Oh, so
I
that
mean, little side.
actually kind of opens it up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to
I mean,
understand that. That's something.
not to get dark, but I just learned that yesterday when I was like, doing my Googling.
Hmm.
I
I
didn't know
get that.
that.
I,
Yeah.
and now that it helps me to understand a little bit more, like I said, I didn't even understand the reason behind it, because of course he was in The Outsiders and he was still fucking fine. I loved him in The Outsiders. His little crooked teeth, he was so cute. I love Tom. But let's go back to this.
He's looking for a fourth wife.
Is
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We can match up. We're about the same height. Now, here's the situation. Of course, we're looking at all things being good here. Now, of course, this is before it gets set up to become all a shit show, to go downhill. Because I think with Mia Sarah, aka Lily, I think she was playing him in his face. And as I watched this movie again, it really helped me pick up something that I don't think I really paid a lot of attention to, that she was a fucking princess, was she not?
Yeah, and we're not going to be doing a lot of time comparing and contrasting, but basically when they originally shot the movie, she was a princess. And then they,
Okay.
they did a different cut to release it for the US. So
And I guess it's
they
because of the
cut her
ring.
they cut out, then they call her a princess one or two times because they couldn't get around it. But yeah, they edited a lot of it out.
Got it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't give much of it, but I was picking up the pieces when she said suitor. And then when she tossed the ring, it was all for the fact of having him, of course, because he wanted to be her suitor, to be her only one. Yeah. So these motherfuckers traveling along through the fucking woods, okay?
The goblins.
Blix. 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 Let's talk about Blix for a hot minute. Okay, Blix, if in case anybody has never seen this fucking movie, that's the one that's in the middle, which later had to understand that's a fucking part being played by a female. Okay. Now, here's the crazy shit, Amanda, you might not have known, but in my crazy dark mind as a kid, I kind of liked Blix. I was a fan of Blix. I don't know if it was the sarcasm of Blix, but I had a liking for Blix. I did.
Well, do you know that it was designed after Keith Richards?
What?
Like it's Keith Richards' face basically for the sculpt. Yeah.
Stop fucking kidding. Are you?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, rock star, like faded out rock star kind of vibe.
What?
Yeah, I saw that in some kind of special, some kind of documentary. They were talking about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that tracks. I believe that.
Now I'm gonna look at this totally different because
you're like, do I like Keith Richards?
What? Is it Keith I'm looking for? Maybe it is. I do like Keith Richards. Okay, maybe.
But hey, you're open-minded.
Hey, looking
all good.
Right. But these three, of course, tracking Lily, but more so not really just Lily, but of course, the mythical unicorns.
Right, because only innocence can lead them to the unicorn.
Exactly. That's correct. So this was all the setup in the beginning, which is basically trying to push darkness to have a wife, but also to stop light from coming back into the world, to make it just pitch black dark. That's what he was pulling for. That's what he was looking for. So these are his fucking pawns that are out here in the woods trying to set the shit up. And Blix is like the number one in command to basically get shit going so that these things do not happen. And therefore, again, we can capture and get to where we need to get to.
Head goon.
Yeah, pretty much. So after, of course, things, started kind of coming about within the fact that Jack did show her the fucking unicorns, which again was very sacred. And Lily, like all women tend to do sometimes, they just fuck the shit up because they just can't follow directions to listen and to just don't touch what you're not supposed to put your hands on. Stop touching shit.
It's
Just want
it's
to.
kind of an Adam and Eve vibe, right? Like kind of a. I mean, I'm not a
Yes.
big Bible like. Yeah, I'm not a big Bible like reader, but I know it's like it's some pretty overt like Garden of Eden stuff going
Yes.
on. Yeah.
And it pissed my man off. Jack. Jack went back up in the trees when she was like, oh, where did he go? Like, bitch, you just fucked shit up. You see it's getting dark
Yeah.
out here? Do you see the dark clouds rolling on through because you wanted to touch one? Okay, this is where we are now from touching shit. Now the alarm goes off in the store, which basically the whole world started to shift and it started to change. And the interesting thing is what I had also was really looking into watching this movie again is when she went to Nell's house and the clock was going around and then it was light, but then it was like she could foresee that something was
Yeah, it was
coming.
prophetic as it went frozen. Yeah.
Yes. And I picked up on that as well.
And it's like a witch.
Yes. Yeah, man. Exactly. Maybe she held the dark and the light as well, where this is how she was able to still be able to put into the position to maybe still try to have goodness within her as she, before all things happen.
That's an unexplored topic is the possible powers within her, right?
Right.
Maybe I didn't think about the vision. Like, is that vision just coming to her magically, or is she,
Because
conjuring that?
and again, they don't spend a lot of time to explain that within or show any other back part past of that story of like
Right.
how and why did she see that shit happening? You know what I mean? But
They leave a lot to imagination, which in a
mhm.
way is kind of cool. Like in a way, it's what makes it rewatchable because it gives you all this stuff to think about.
Yes.
And you watch it again to see if you can find more clues.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't take time to flesh everything out because it's an hour and a half movie, and it's not super serious. So there's a lot of fill in the blanks, which is kind of fun. It's kind of like reading a book where you can imagine a lot of things.
Exactly. And for your own imagination too, and you spin it whatever way you want to spin it. Mm-hmm. So as to take you down the forest, Lily fucked up, okay? For those of you, again, you haven't watched this in a while, maybe this is something you need to go back and check out because, again, it's not going to be but so long because, movies weren't that long back then. So she fucked up. She fucked it up. And then what happens? Well, these fucking goons, they get a chance to take over within the fact of cutting off the unicorn's horn, And of course, they obey the Prince of Darkness. So now within the fact is you can see these two right here. But before we got here, this is where they are. They're here because now he has, she Blix, because it's not a fucking guy. It's a girl with the hips swinging through. Got the unicorn horn. And I think with the fact that at this point, Blix thought maybe she could actually overrule and take out the Prince of Darkness, because now she was holding the power, just throwing shit and blowing shit up and breaking shit up with the unicorn horn. But this was, of course, within the magical words of sayings that will never leave my mind. And again, the chanting of the higher, higher, burning fire, making music like a choir. Yes. Yeah. She didn't have too much control, though, at that point, because then that's when this motherfucker came through and he was like, what the fuck are y'all doing with my unicorn horn? I told y'all to bring that home, and you out here lighting up fires, Blix? Really? Blowing shit up? Breaking shit? Get y'all asses back to the dark tree. This is that scene. This is the scene right here where they got caught, like kids getting caught doing shit they're not supposed to be doing. This is that picture, and that's why their faces look 10 carats stupid. Like what I was just playing. Yeah, I encourage time to time that goblins, do their thing. And he's like, yeah, I don't like that.
Did you notice in the background that they're roasting squirrels over the open fire?
You know what? I didn't know if they were squirrels or rabbits. I didn't know what they had there.
Maybe they are really skinny rabbits, but they look like squirrels. It was just like, once you notice it, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But Blix was definitely the head honcho. She was running shit. She told her pal to shut the fuck up or she was going to turn him into pork chops. He's like, how about just garbage? How about everything just be trash in the fucking world? Okay.
No. I didn't think about Blix being a female. Like, I knew Blix is played by a female, but like, I thought the character is a male. But now that you're saying she, I'm like, who knows? Like, do they never use a pronoun for Blix, do they?
They don't, just like Morla.
So we don't know.
The ancient one.
I mean, I think a male character, but I don't think there's proof of that. You know what I mean? There's no.
It's right. And now because of course, as I learned as an older age that it's being played by a woman, I'm now just affiliating her as the female. And maybe because of the fact that it would be within one to be able to persuade and keep everybody on point with the two that she had rolling with her, which is a pig head guy and somebody in this fucking helmet shit that looks like a furnace. He has a whole furnace. Did you ever look at his helmet? It's like a whole furnace on his head.
It's so weird. I imagine the character designers, like, was that their first idea? And they're just like, yeah, cool, roll with it. Or did they have like a bunch of ideas that, and then that was like the best one? I don't know how they come up with that.
Right. They're like, hold on now. So as we're again taking you down the journey, now we went from the fuck up of Lily, touching the unicorn, Jack said, and then things went dark. Then them three fucks, they kidnapped her to take her to the Prince of Darkness. But then Jack's not alone because he's still out there looking for Lily, and then who the fuck does he run into? This guy, because he's pissed all the way around. Hawthorne Bump. Do you see the anger in his face? This is
that a wand? What is that in his hand? Is it a wand?
That is a wand.
Okay,
it is.
Sorry.
It's a wand. And
I'm just wondering I wonder where he keeps that when he's running around. That's all.
It's probably in the bag with the other arrows he has to shoot.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe. Or he threw it probably once they started going along. But this is when he comes to Jack as to where they find him. And I love his sarcasm as well. And he's like, why don't you tell me what the fuck happened? Like he doesn't, nobody does know. And then he's like, you let a mere mortal fuck this up? Like you shouldn't have never talked to the Jack. Why, Jack? Why?
Yeah,
and then of course
he's got his little riddles.
He does. But then it was like he went from straight bipolar, like, oh, love you say? Oh, that's why. Well, that's a different story, And it just was like called for a celebration, then with the fact of having some wine and we had to find Jack some new clothes and everything in the nature of that because of the fact that they need now a champion. They're going to need a warrior because they're going to have to make sure that this guy doesn't take this whole world and put it into nothing but darkness. And so therefore, now the journey starts because they have to get to the big tree. It's the big tree.
Gotta rescue the.
Is it the big or the dark? It's the big tree, right?
I think they call it the great tree.
The great tree, where all of the sacrifices.
I don't know. They don't explain it, so it's like, okay. Like it's just like they spend like 2 seconds on it and then they're on to the next thing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's not
So
deep, you know?
right, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Honeythorn Gump, he has friends, of course, with him as well. But
The other
let's
little
talk about the
fairies.
bitch. Yes, we
Mm-hmm.
do have the fairies. Um, can we talk about the bitch of all bitches though? Like, Miss Jealous herself, Una.
Mm-hmm. She's a little
Una
naughty
was,
Tinkerbell, little dark, little gothic Tinkerbell.
yeah, she looked like she's been out all night partying with all the other fairies and
We used to
hasn't
say
gotten
she
a
stuck
lick of
her
sleep.
finger in a light socket with that hair.
Yes, we
And I
did.
remember, I remember we'd be making fun of her, and then you'd be just standing up for her. You'd be like, I think Una's pretty.
You know why I stood up for her, Amanda?
It was cute.
Whose fucking bangs look like Una's hair all together in school all
Well,
the
there,
fucking
that
time?
I didn't really think of it that way. That makes sense.
And I had to champion with her, like, no, leave her
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
It's Una. But look at how Tom's hair looks so like fucking Pantene fresh, you know? It's so cute. God, he's so cute. Look at that. Like, don't you
It's
just see
actually
the
it's kind of giving Jordan Catalano vibes.
it is giving Jordan Catalano. This whole picture to me is funny. Like, as if I never watched the movie, I can kind of just put everybody in pieces. Like Una's like, I'm not gonna fucking go do that. So honey Honeythorn, you can see, we're gonna change the plan. She's like, I'm not doing that. And he's like, yes, you are. And Jack's like, are you sure she's down for this? Because I don't know. Like, she doesn't seem like she really wants to help a lot. She keeps fading in, fading out. And I like how they would have her appear. Like, the special effect was like they had like a jar of glitter that they would just pour down. And then it was like she was back. She'd appear. Yes, we should have known all the glitter was falling down again in like a large stream. And so here you are again. But yes, she had
Yeah.
little secrets. And I think her thing was she really had admired humans as to wanting to have love. I think that
Right.
was her thing.
Kind of like an
I mean,
Ariel thing, like a mermaid wanting to be a human because she's in love with the
yes,
prince. Like it's giving
yes.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be a part of that world. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, other than that. So, as they again going through the journey, they got to get Jack some fucking clothes because he's out here running around with some paper mache type of short set on that,
Yeah. Which, by
it's
the
not gonna.
way, Ryan and I were just watching the movie this morning, as you were,
Mm-hmm,
and we were
mm-hmm.
talking about, so he gets this armor, right? But he still has no fucking pants on. And what's up with that? Like, and and Ryan's like, he's like, well, it was in the gold. Like, I was like, oh, you know what happened is Una hid them in the pile of gold. Una hid the fucking pants because she likes him running around with no pants on. So it was,
Exactly. She knows where the fucking pants are. I'm like, how are you coming here and there's all the weaponry of the world and this whole like makeshift armor
yeah,
thing is hanging on like a hanger type of mannequin body thing,
yeah,
but there's no pants.
right.
I
Where's the
guess maybe because nobody else had pants. Honeythorn Gump was running around with underwear
well,
on.
he's a fairy, but like, yeah, it's sus. But and it's like, isn't it cold out? I guess he doesn't get cold. I don't know.
Well, the people, the fairies, they Screwball, they found him that coat when they did find him when he was looking for Lily. They gave him that coat to put
Right,
on. Like,
but still
yeah,
no
but
pants.
no
Still
pants, no
no pants.
fucking pants. Segue. Hold on a second. You know what that reminds me of? Do you remember when going to high school or Explorer and in the winter, people would have the sweatshirt and the parka coats on,
Mhm.
but still have rolled up jean shorts on
Mm, yeah.
in the winter? Like,
Sometimes there would be tights, but they would not be very thick. Like it'd be
Exactly.
like
And I'm like,
the
that's
colored
not,
tight,
yeah,
like pink or purple or whatever tights, but they're very thin. Yeah.
right.
And then with
Exactly.
Keds, like some kind of stupid little shoe like Keds that's not suitable for winter. Yeah.
Exactly. And again, if you've not grown up in Washington State, Google it because it's not the place to just be shredding
Yeah.
and not layering up in the colder
Yeah.
months. But
Yeah, it's wet.
anywho,
Yeah.
yeah. So can we talk about this guy, lady? I don't even know what the fuck to call this.
Wow. I would call it a swamp hag.
Yeah. Sour tasting fairy. What she said? What's your name? My name's Jack. Jack? Yeah.
What a fine fat boy you are.
Yeah. You don't plan to eat me, do you? Do you? Oh, indeed.
Indeed I do. The cackle. That's what makes her a hag, is that fucking cackle.
That cackle. I think this probably, if anything, honestly, of so many things I have seen in life, that scares me the most.
Yeah,
It's oh, it
these
scared
effects are
me.
pretty effective.
Look at the nails. It's the drippiness of the green slimy shit. It just all of that, the eyes. I wouldn't want to encounter that. I would have passed the fuck out. If that thing would have jumped out the water, I'm like, well, you got me. Just make it quick. Just get it quick, done and over with. I can't even look at you no more. I would fall the fuck. I would have fell out. I couldn't have
And
made
this
it
is
through.
the one scene where, remember when we first watched this, it was on TV. It used to come on TV all the time. Before I got my videotape, we watched it on TV and it was like a slightly different version. And it had a longer cut of the scene with Meg Mucklebones in the swamp. And I remember the first time we watched the video, we were like, this scene's different.
Yeah. It's off.
Yeah, because on TV when we watch it, she makes Jack figure out a riddle, or he makes her figure out a riddle or something. Like the scene is longer.
Yes, before he slays her up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything went according to plan within the beginning of like within the scene. But yeah, it's like they edit. And that's what I'm saying. That's that Mandela effect that I keep talking about. Like, why is it that they keep trying to make it like, no, that's not how it ever was? Or no, you never sung the song that way. Or we never had that lyric in there. What cornucopia and the fruit of the looms? Like, yo, we saw it. Like it used to always be there. What do you mean it was there?
Yeah. Yeah, it would make us feel like we were crazy because we'd be like, that was there, right? Why would we know that if it wasn't? But it's
Right.
why is it a video? And nobody ever explained. And of course, now with the internet, you can find all the information because it's but
thank you, internet.
Back then, we just had to figure it out.
You did. We did. And encyclopedias was not going to help us figure it out. That's where we come in with the imagination station and think and really try to figure it out, because we didn't have the resources at that time. Let me just put it in the chat. Let me put it in Google and I'm going to find out what it's Google. What did Google say? It doesn't matter what Google says because there's no fucking Google. We are Google. We were Google. We were Google. We had to figure it out. We had to put pieces together. This is why we watched things as many times as we did, to figure stuff out. Because the more you see things, the more things come as to make sense, especially from movies. It's certain things you didn't hear the first time or the second time you watched it. And then it really pieces together when you do actually see it in its entirety and pick it up and listen, and you're like, okay, now this puzzle is complete. It makes sense. So this again, like I said, even though for the entertainment purposes of it, it was still a great movie for us to watch. I feel like we watched it every week. Like it was just a time that never slipped by. We wasn't watching this movie. So once we get past Meg, everybody slips into a slippery slope, and then they go into the jail, which again is where they pick up humans for barbecue. Let's not forget about these two, though. We have to give them some love, because these two right here, without them, we wouldn't be any further than where we were from the woods. These two right here are like the bee's knees, okay? And they brought the comedy relief to it as well, with the whole movie, because they were important, even though we're like 3 feet high, but they were very important little guys in this movie.
Yeah, Screwball and Brown Tom, they're definitely the little comic relief for sure.
Yeah, Screwball's the one that had the wine under his hat, right? He's the one
so. Yeah,
he was
yeah,
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they shot him through my brain pan. Shot me through my brain pan. So again, let's go back real quick. This Screwball is fighting these two in the woods with a fucking frying pan. Do you remember the frying pan? Like it was like a tennis racket. And he was just like, yeah, keep them coming. Like keep shooting at me. And it was like bing, bing. I'm like, you just can't beat me. You just can't. He was like, oh yeah, it shot me through me.
Fighting him off like a housewife with a pan.
Gordon's like, oh, you can't be dead. Well, what if he was dead? What if he is dead? They're like, nah, he ain't dead. They're like, no, that's wine. His wine bottle was busted. And that's what's on his face. And that was that. So yeah, just no more wine. But yeah, they were great. So of course, because like I said, Dirty Diana, Una, keeping secrets, because see here, while they're locked up in this jail, because they're not trying to be the barbecue, because that's, how the Prince of Darkness eats, whoever's in the jail, that's dinner. So, he's talking to Una. Jack's like letting the secret out the bag at this point. And, Honeythorn's like, what do you mean? Una's too small. She can't fly out. Like, yes, the fuck she can. She can fly out, and she needs to go get us some keys. And he's like, what is this that I know that you don't know? I don't know that. Yeah, Una, she know how to get shit done. And that's his face. He's like, what, Jack? What? She's like, oh, you bitch. Oh, you told on me. You told on me? Yeah, she's upset here. That's when her face started transforming, because she was trying to trap him in. She'll go get them keys for a kiss, Jack. He's like, I can kiss you on the cheek.
Yeah, she was doing her fairy glamour.
Yes.
But he's like, you don't smell like Lily. So
you kind of, and it's not a smell of the woods either. It's not, it smells like bee pollen. And I'd like to know, what does bee pollen smell like?
Oh, it kind of smells like honey and beeswax,
Is that a sweet sensation smell?
Yeah, it would be kind of like earthy and sweet.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, maybe I'm not wearing the right scents out here. It should get some bee pollen.
And she says on a summer wind, like it would be like warm, and then like
yes, sweet as the wind that blows me to you, Jack. Yes. And they're like, oh shit, she doing that fairy magic again. It was like, oh wait, that ain't Lily. Is it Lily? That's Una. I don't know who we talking to anymore. Honeythorn was like, I don't care how many faces you change into, go get those keys. and get us out
Yeah,
of
it's kind
here.
of it's very like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. Very, very like jealous of Wendy situation.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. So into the river and through the woods, and they're in Prince Darkness' house. So they got to get out the jail, which they do because Una wants to go get. She goes and gets the keys because her secret is broken. But God dag it, that's
Which,
when
by the
again
way,
it
are we
just
going
goes
to talk
all.
about these guards at all? These guards,
The who is
these
it?
the guards in the dungeon.
Oh yeah,
Can we
I
talk
was
about them
trying to
for a
find
minute?
something.
Because I just have to say, the way they were very like sweaty and like shiny and oily, it always gave me like I was always felt like they were very like salty. Like it always reminded me of like ham. Like they just look like they taste
Yes,
like ham.
like pork rinds, something
Yes.
porky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I get
and is like
exactly what
burnt
you're
being
saying.
by the fire, and it's like pork rind textures.
And then you're like, barbecue? You guys are the barbecue. You smell like barbecue. And they're the two that's in charge. And they look like pig face. Like, yeah, their teeth were crazy. I wanted to find something from them so bad. I don't know. I could not find them. Something I found had little writing all over it,
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't take that shit. I don't even know if that
that's okay.
belongs to somebody. But
And then
yeah, they were
the cooks making those enormous pot pies with fairies in them.
fairies and pigeons. Remember? Fairies and pigeons. And just
Yeah,
nobody cut the vegetables. Remember, they were just throwing shit in there. The whole head of lettuce was in there. Old Nick, the little other,
yeah.
the helmet guy, fairy brother. I can't even think of his name right now. I don't even think they said his name. It was just like brother. Did you ever figure out what was going on with his hand?
You know,
Did you ever?
Ryan told me what he thinks, and he said he thinks that they were turning him into a goblin, and that's why his skin's green too, because it was turning dark, like
Yeah,
black.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's
like
why they
and then
gave
the
him that
claw, like they
helmet.
were. Yeah, which is kind of like Lord of the Rings. Like they do that in Lord of the Rings, where
Mm-hmm.
the evil orcs are used to be fairies.
Ah,
Be
gotcha.
elves, I mean, not yeah. So it's like a similar, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to ask you when we were younger, did you ever pay attention to his hand to see that it
Yeah, we
looked
did. We
really
were
kind of
like we were always like asking what was up with that, but we just never figured it out. We're like, what is up with that? Like, is he some kind of mutant? And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, he
so look
is.
at
Like something's happening to him in the underworld. They're using magic to change him into something evil, I think.
his hair was crazy too, man. And he talked weird. No, you neither. Like, what are you saying, dude? What? What happened? Although we
They
are
all talk
brothers.
funny. They all talk funny. When that whole like I'm not as old as I used to be, you know.
Yeah, I'm not as
And you're
old
like,
as I
wait,
used to be.
like are y'all aging in reverse? I think so because Gump, who looks the youngest, is in
Right.
charge. So it's like
Exactly.
I think Gump is actually the oldest, and
He
like
probably is.
I guess he'll die when he turns into a fetus. You know?
Probably got to go back down to nothing. And that's it. And that's going to be the end of his life. That was really a good observation because I heard it and I always hear it, but I never put it in perspective because see, Yoda talks backwards like that on
Right.
on Star Wars. And
Right.
I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
that was just during their time. That was the
Oh, maybe.
language.
But it seems like Brown Tom and Screwball are kind of like bottom of the totem pole. Like they got to do all the dirty work, and they
They
must be
do.
like the young lackeys, but they look old.
They're the
So like
toddlers.
I guess they were born old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he sent rom-com across the water first because he was like, I don't like it. I hate it.
Yeah.
He's like, good. You go
And they make them
first.
stand guard. Like they got to do all the lackey work, you know?
Can we look at Dark Lily before?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now this here, let me see. I have this one. This is when the seduction takes place.
The dress. The dress is a it's like it's some sort of spirit.
Yes. Yes. The whole damn room was spirited. And this part is probably the freakiest out of in the movie of showing the seduction of, because how they did the spirit as far as dancing to seduce her, to charm her, make her one of us. It was just the fact that she embraced it and she went within, because that's how darkness can be. It could be so, to the point of really pulling you in. It's so like, yeah, I'm here for this. What else do you have? He had the jewels. He had the crazy fucking table of fucking food. And did I was, like I said, I was looking at it again and looking at it to the fact, like, the little, what was he, like a stone statue or something? He was getting up dancing when the dress spirit was dancing around, and it was like he was
Right.
dancing. Yeah. And then it
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah, it was just like some creepy stuff in the background going on with the statues coming to life. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The music. First of all, this dress.
Just like that's to show you that it's enchanted, like kind of like Beauty and the Beast, where it's just like the whole place is enchanted.
Yeah, it is. But this dress, oh my God, the table, everything on the table. We got white wine, then we got blood wine. What kind of wine? Because, he's got the white one, but it's like, but is that really wine? What is that? Maybe other fluids out of the body they drained that they
Right?
ate.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what is that? He only drinks blood, so what's the white stuff?
Yeah, what's the one that looks a little, safe to drink? Because that's the one. But yeah,
It's
after
like
the
it's like
fact
dark
that
crystal. It's a glass of vital essence. Yeah.
but the star of the show for you, my dear, is that guy right there. I would have fell the
Eh,
fuck out too. I'd have passed out.
now this devil.
You probably would have been there for it. I would have passed the fuck out. Just like she's on the floor right now in this picture. Passed out.
Yeah, she can't take it. She's used to the forest boy. This is not her flavor.
Girl, as I think now, as I am older, I wouldn't have wanted no parts of that. That would have been too much to handle. First of all, his ears, horns, half horse. I wouldn't want to know. He had on pants. They should have gave him pants. He better had on some damn pants. I would have been scared to see what was, if the pants weren't on. What is under the pants?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely. Yeah, it was already giving enough testosterone. They need. So having Tim Curry play this role was everything, because is it not impossible to imagine anyone else playing it? He makes
Back
the
then,
role.
no.
He carries the movie in a lot of ways, and it's because of his theatrical experience that he can act through that makeup. It's one of those famous roles where he was in makeup for hours every day. And you hear about that all the time. But the thing with Tim Curry was he never complained about it. You hear about Tom Cruise didn't like the movie. Tom Cruise wanted more like creative input, but you never hear Tim Curry did not ever complain about being in all this makeup, and he somehow was able to act through it, which is so amazing to watch. And those horns, I mean, that even though it's like styrofoam, how just bulky that must have been. It just looks, it looks crazy, and he pulled it off.
He did. I liked how they at least gave us a little bit of variation with him too, because in the beginning, his eyes are that neon green glow, his nails are that glowy color, and then the cat, you know, of course, in here, you know, all that's gone. It's more settled just back into the darkness. But for this here, you can, yeah, it's I don't know, it's the chiseled everything for me. I mean, all of it. I mean, he's just like, he's that guy. And it's the
Yeah,
voice.
the sculpt is so effective.
Yes, yes, yes. Is it not your sin that trapped the unicorn? Yeah, I guess it was me that fucked it up. Everybody keeps reminding me of it. Yeah, so here we go. She, being Lily, now trying to be the queen of darkness, but there's still good within Lily, though, after all. And you know, for the fact of, you know, the Prince of Darkness, and he felt like, you know, he was casted to be there, and he's lonely, and he has nobody to be with him, no bride, nobody wants to be his bride. Like, dude, not nobody want to live over here with human barbecue. Like, nobody was planning on that. Like, this is your life. Is this his face as he's trying to still be nice with her? Sit and talk with me. Sit. Eat. Drink. And she said, I do nothing for your pleasure. Yeah, he wasn't having it. But then he did, and she circled back. And I think that was the part of her still fighting the darkness when she basically was able to kind of trap him up in the plan of like, you know, all right, I'll be your bride, but you got to let me, you're going to have to let me kill the unicorn, dude. You're going to have
she
to let me do
somehow
that.
convinces him. She convinces him she wants to kill this unicorn pretty quick. It's pretty amazing. At first she's like, you disgust me. And I timed it, and it's like 12 minutes later, she's like, I want to kill the unicorn. And he's like, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it just says a lot for his arrogance that it's that easy to convince him that
Yeah.
you've changed your mind. Just in one conversation, you're like, you you convinced me. I want to kill the fucking unicorn.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's do it. Let's do it. You're like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, okay, let's do it. I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to do the opening speech. And then I'm gonna hand over everything over to you, and then you cut and chop the chain up. And then the fact of the hit also, which he never really hits her face, he actually hits that hood part thing that's kind of around her head that knocks her out. Yeah, like into the. I love how when she was just like, "I'll do nothing for your pleasure," and he said, "Don't yell," and I'm like, she didn't yell. She just said, I'll do nothing for your pleasure. And then she started yelling, never, never. Yeah. I can appreciate the villains a little bit more now, as you know, because I started really liking the villains, and I think more so that started in the Disney movies for me to like the villains more. Because I think it was like I was starting to find in my own personality, like, you are sarcastic. You have a smart little kind of twitch to your tongue too, and I think that's kind of what you are. You like them.
Yeah, the villains are more interesting.
They are. They really are. They're fun. They're the fun ones, you know.
And in this particular movie, it's all about it. You know, this is, it's like similar to Labyrinth, where you're really in it for the villain.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You kind of are. But you're still like, but I still don't want to live in darkness every day, though. Like, can we get the sun once a week? Maybe? No. But you know, even to the extent at the end, before he dies. And it's kind of like how even in the never ending story, it's the message that's given by the villains that makes some type of sense. Like, oh, he said some stuff right there,
Right.
like where he's just really tying it in. And like I said, as you see this shit older, like now as an adult, we were watching this at what age? Young. So now at 46 and whatever, we're like, oh man, that's kind of what life does. Yeah, that's what it's like out
Yeah,
here.
they have the wisdom because they've been through some shit.
Yes, exactly.
And you can relate to that. It's more relatable. Like the good guy is usually like innocent, and you're like, I'm not. Yeah, I can't really relate to innocence anymore. I don't really remember what that's like.
Right. Yeah, right. And it was I think my part at the end, it's kind of like the nanny boo boo. And he's standing there like he's holding on, like his claws are scratching against. He's like, and I am a part of you all. Like, yeah.
You can never defeat me. And you're just like, oh, Mr. Sassy Pants. Like he's like, you're like, oh yes, queen. Like he's being so like over the top.
Right. Bitch, what you gonna do? Yeah, it was very like, it was all in your face. And it was like, when's that last wind push gonna push him completely out? And then again, look at where he goes. So everything opens up, he's sliding through, and then he goes into the oblivion of the universe. And it's like, where did that dark sky come from with those stars? Because when they had to come to the great tree,
because I thought we were like under the earth. Were we underground before? We were under the earth, right? And then all of a sudden, how are we in outer space now? Yeah.
Again, as a kid, you don't pick up on that because you're just like, this movie is fucking great, man. None of this shit makes sense, but it makes sense to me. And this is, he can be in space. Because I don't know where we could have traveled with the great tree. The great tree moved. We went somewhere else. And I will say,
it doesn't bother me, like, because I don't really need to criticize this movie because it's like, it's just so fun. But the fact is, like, they were on cocaine. Like Ridley Scott was on a lot of cocaine, and that's the true answer.
You said that's why everything was always fluttering and sprinkled around in the scenes. Fairy dust. Snow. Lots of snow.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right. Can I mention one thing about the kitchen when the guards were asleep and they were grabbing stuff to set up for the reflector finale light into the darkness? Mm-hmm. Where the fuck did those big plates come from, man? Do you see those fucking plates that they were setting up, throwing down and having set them up? But how many people lived in this fucking place at the Great Tree that needed a fucking big plate?
What are those? Are they like shields for soldiers? Or are they like platters for food? Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it looked like a whole kitchen, like our plates are up there on the top shelf, and then the midsection, those are our goblets, like cups. Like, just come on down. Like, well, where's your forks? We don't have forks, but we got plates.
It's a lot. Like they're insinuating that darkness is down there entertaining. Like he has big banquets. Like, who is he inviting? Why does he need that many platters?
I mean, look at all the black fruit and food he had on his table. And are you going to eat all of that? You didn't even have any company until you went and stole Lily. You didn't have nobody coming here to visit. Nobody.
Yeah, that was her. He's just when he's alone, he's just drinking blood. You're like, that's just for her.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, I want a fucking patch of black grapes off the table. I don't want that fruit because it matches my dress. And I don't think I should be eating this. This is weird to me right here. I don't want nothing to eat.
It's like the old child where he's like, I'm not going to eat this impure oatmeal. Like, you're trying to put the devil in me. you
And
know?
another thing that I wanted to get a picture of them too, and I couldn't find it. What the fuck were those things that jumped out of the ground that Honeythorn
Right?
Gump was trying to use his, and what the hell
Right?
was Honeythorn Gump doing with his nails? Because he was like, dude, they're gonna
Yeah, we
kill
used to be
you.
really scared of those things, and we used to always be pausing it. This was one of those
Yes.
famous times where back in the VHS days, it was kind of hard to freeze frame, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we were always trying to see what these things looked like because we're like, these things are scary. Like they come out of the pots and they're like, wow, wow.
Yes.
They're like cats with rabies or something. And yeah, and Gump's like scratching, and you're like, what's happening to Gump? Like he's woke up.
He said, "What's happening?" Yeah, Gump's
And
like, wow. And Jack is like, "Get the fuck over here, man." He was like, "Yo, what are you like? I don't have claws. I can't battle scratch with you. Like, you need to come on. Let's get through this door and close it and leave them alone and ask questions later." Because
yeah,
they
that's
were
the thing. Next thing
scary.
you know, they're just closing the door, and it's like, well, that was easy. Like, moving on. Like,
Right. Like, let's run that way. And Gump's face looking at Jack was like, I didn't know if I was gonna make it, man. He was like, yeah, don't do that shit no more. Like, let's just keep moving. Like,
I think
we're
there's
going
some
down
sort of
that hallway.
I feel like
We're
they're
just
like banshee, some kind of banshee. Kind of.
they're something. They were something. But
But
yeah.
that was another thing that one of the many things in the movie just kind of goes on by, and you're like, I don't know. And next,
Yeah, because they're trying to put us on their coke trip with them anyway. So we're just like, well, I'll bite. We'll just ride it on out with you guys because you know it all makes sense to me that this is how the movie is supposed to go, and I'm here for it. So I don't see anything wrong until you.
yeah, it's a little like a video game where you're just like, nah, this you don't defeat these things. You just run through and close the door, and then on to
Right,
the next level.
right. Like in Mario, the spiky dories. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, we
yeah,
gotta just go. Just go.
yeah,
Go. You
yeah. You're
can't
not
kill them,
gonna
you can't
don't
stop
fuck
them.
with those things.
Yeah, right.
No.
You can't stomp on it, you can't pick them up. Just keep going. Go and stay high. Stay high. Keep jumping, just get to the flag. That's exactly what they were. They were like that. But yeah, I mean, we didn't do a song for this one because damn, there was no song. There's only two songs in the whole movie.
Yeah, it's not really a musical. Not really known for its music.
It's
Well, I mean,
not.
the soundtrack's really great, but like, yeah, the songs we weren't really feeling it. It's not feeling it
Mm-mm.
today.
No, we was not. We're not going to sing all the fucking time, but we'll have other little things up our sleeve for you with, musical talents and things of gifts we'll share with you later. But yeah, the only song we really connected to was Loved by the Sun. And yeah, I had to learn the fact that that was the title of it about a couple of days ago, right, Amanda? Because I was saying it was Love Divides the Sun, and you're like, no, that's not it. That's not what it's called. I was like, you might be on to something. So yeah, Loved by the Sun. I still like it though. I like the song as
Yeah,
because I
it's
hadn't
cute.
heard it in
It's
a long
cute.
time.
Yeah, it's like a little high pitched for me. I don't think I could pull it off.
Who sings up on a love
Yeah, it's a little high for me.
eternity?
Hey,
Yeah,
we got our matching unicorn necklaces today.
we do. We do. We have our matching unicorn necklaces. Push yours up a little bit more. There you go.
I'm trying, man. Oh
Oh,
man.
it's
Oh.
there, man. It's there. It's there. Yeah. See, that's the connection. See right there? There it is. And what else do we have, Amanda?
Oh, we have our OG VHS copies.
Yeah, man. This is it. This is where it shows the dedication. We still got it on
This is the
VHS.
one.
Yes.
This is
VHS.
the one we were watching in childhood, and then the one Kelly has. I found that one at like an antique store
Mm-hmm.
for 99 cents, and it still had the original cellophane on it.
Yes.
Yay!
And thank God that we still have our VHS and our VCR, because God damn it, when you little Thundercats run out of the Wi-Fi and it stops working and shit, you're gonna be upset you don't have nothing to fucking watch. And that's because you
Mm-hmm.
didn't invest in a VCR. And I have a lot of VHS tapes.
We
Okay.
had a windstorm here last night, and I was watching it on my VCR because the Wi-Fi was out. So there
Yeah.
you go.
See, that's the difference with Generation X children, everybody. We know how to make shit happen without shit having in our possessions. And so we know how to revert back to what it was like to not have these things, because we know how to still be able to entertain and watch stuff because we keep our old school shit. That's why. I don't know
Your
what's
girl
going to happen.
Renee here, Kelly, used to memorize phone numbers.
Yes, I did. And still do.
If you can even imagine, like, she used to know, I would say, over 100 phone numbers just off the top of her head.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Phone
addresses.
numbers. Mm-hmm.
And addresses. She knew where everybody lived.
Where everybody lived.
It
That
was
is
in
some
the brain.
serial killer shit, man.
It was not. It was not on the Google. It was not in a book. It was in Kelly's brain.
And you know what's funny, Amanda? A friend of mine is just like in shock and awe. Like, you know, you've done so many things in your past and your lifestyle and your childhood, your teenage years, and how is it that you still remember this shit? How is it that your brain's not like, none of that's faded? Like, no. Because
Well,
I just think I think the things I want to remember that's important to me, I'm going to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way my brain is set up. And I don't mean any, thing by it, or, stress to try to do it. It's just something that just registers and it just locks in. Like, keep that right there in file C, because we might need that later.
It's a two-part thing. It's like, part of it is just being very intelligent to begin with, and having a talent for remembering, which is what we had in common, is this talent for remembering things, which is hard to find. People who with that
Yeah.
level of observation and who actually want to do that. And then the other part is taking care of yourself. So, like, throughout your life, not the whole time, but throughout, like, you've taken really good care of yourself to preserve what you do have. So, part of it, like I said, is having a lot to begin with, so that when you do lose memory, brain cells, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as much of a deficit to you because you started with a lot.
Right. Exactly. But trust and believe, I don't like to I don't try to hold on to things to remember that really sucked or bad. I try to let those things go, to push out those things, to put and have space for all the good shit that I, feel as though that's very important for me, especially to remember. So yeah, I remember birthdays, I remember phone numbers, I remembered addresses. I mean, just, I was the fucking Google. Like, where's such and such? You give me a name and I was on it. And you give me a movie and I can quote it.
More like Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Ask Kel. Yeah. I love
Remember
it.
Ask Jeeves? That's some old shit.
I do. I do remember Jeeves. Definitely. The kids don't, but we do. Yeah. Ask Jeeves. You're like, all right, Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho. Jeeves, my man. Got a question. So yeah, man, this was our journey through legend. This was, like I said, this is our number one. This is our all-time favorite movie, no matter what. And I don't even think we had a Rotten Tomatoes back then. We had a Siskel and Ebert.
Oh.
That basically was our Rotten Tomatoes.
Siskel and Ebert, they stink. I will say though, this was one of the few movies that my mom actually liked to watch with us, and that had something to do with how often we watched it. Because if she didn't like something, we couldn't watch it unless she was like asleep, or gone. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one reason we were able to watch this so much, is she actually liked it.
Yes. Yes, she
Yeah.
did. Yes. Thank you, Amy. We love you for letting us watch Legend and you watching it with us.
She was so into Tim Curry too. She's like always talk about the sexy devil.
Yes. Yes. See? Like mother, like daughter. Right. Exactly. And I'm all over here quiet lip like about Jack. Jack.
I had no idea. It's so funny.
That short set Jack. And then and then yeah, of course. And then coming now into our adulthood, and I'm like, I gotta go see Mission Impossible. And you're like, really? You're like, I love John. And even when he was in Mission Impossible, we went to see that in the movie. And Tom.
Actually, you and I saw Mission Impossible, the original one, at the drive-in in high
Yeah,
school.
we did. Yep.
In Everett.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
With Lorraine.
Lorraine.
And that was the only time that the three of us ever hung out together.
And got along.
Yeah.
Together. Yeah.
It involved some very, very, very good green. That's what it was.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. And the three of us, we were singing the Mission Impossible theme, and we were like banging on the steering wheel, and the whole car was shaking. We're like, dun 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 dun. And Lauren was in the back seat acting crazy, and we were in the front seat because you had permanent shotgun like Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I did. Right. Definitely. You cool, man? What? Yeah, okay. What does he mean? Yeah. But yeah. So this was definitely the one. Did we cover everything, best friend? Did you have any questions?
You know, I did wonder, like, who do you think if I hate remakes and I don't even want to blaspheme it with that, but just for kicks and giggles, like, who do you think would play Jack and Lily if you were to cast it today? Because I can't even talk about casting Darkness or anything like you can't even talk about that. But if you were to cast Jack and Lily, who comes to mind?
I'm going to honestly give it to the one that you really cannot stand to be Jack. It'd be Timothée Chalamet.
Oh my God, that's so funny because that's who I came up with.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what I wrote down. Here, I'll show it to you right here.
Are you serious?
Chalamet. Wait. Oh, Chalamet.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Because like when Darkness, he keeps calling him a boy. He's like, boy, a little boy. And I was like, probably he should be skinnier and like kind of like a boy, less man-like.
Right.
Because Lily, she's like 15. Like that's how old Mia Sara was,
Wow.
So, right. And we won't even talk about how that's kind of, not
weird.
Cool. But
yeah.
Right. So if Jack had been a little younger, like a little closer to her age, it probably would have been good. But yeah, I said Chalamet. Yeah. And who do you think is Lily?
Lily. Ooh. I would want to put Zendaya in that position of Lily.
That's who I
Don't
said
tell me
too.
you wrote that. Don't tell me you wrote that. Are you serious? Okay, I'm going to turn this fucking computer off. No fucking way, man. Really? Listen, everybody, I want to just say a disclaimer. This is how best friend mind shit works because we did not talk about this off camera before we started the show. And again, you've seen this happen in our first episode when we had the same similar type of answers. We do not live next door to each other. She's in a whole different fucking state, different coast. And we, again, are in the same mindset.
And we don't have time to talk about this ahead of time. So Yeah.
We don't.
And honestly, if I were really to cast it, I would honestly cast unknowns, like, to be boring about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just for shits and giggles, I totally said Chalamet and Zendaya because that's who Hollywood would cast. That's what I was thinking. Like, who would Hollywood cast? And I feel like that.
Yeah. And I bet you, yeah. And I bet for the devil, for darkness, you know who they would probably put in that position? It would be Idris Elba.
Interesting. I was thinking, oh
I
God, what's
could
his
see them
name?
putting him in that position.
Oh God, I can't remember his name. Whatever. But yeah,
Is he young, older actor?
a little bit older now. But yeah, I'm not gonna remember, so it's like out of my head.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like
Well, when it
blasphemous
comes
to even
to,
out. It's just Tim
yeah, and
all the
then they could
way.
just sprinkle everybody else in to be something else. But I would say Meg would probably be like Ryan Reynolds. They would put him in costume for that shit because he's silly.
Right. That little
See him
bitch.
playing that? Oh, indeed I do. I can see him doing this fucking part.
You know what I realized? They probably had a man play Meg. Like, I was like, why
They
would they
did.
have a man play? I realized, I think it's probably because the prosthetics were probably so heavy.
Right.
Like, that's a lot of stuff, and it probably was so heavy that it's just easier for a man to carry it all.
His name is Robert
Picardo?
something. Yes, there you go. He's the guy.
Yeah, he was Coach Cutlip in the Wonder Years.
Get
And
out of here. You
funny thing is,
serious?
when I was looking that up, we share a birthday. His birthday is also on October 27th.
You
But
know
yeah,
who's a
I thought it
Virgo?
was so weird that he is playing Meg. How did he even get that role? It's like, I'm looking at his IMDb and he plays like he's just an actor. He just plays normal things. And then all of a sudden with this crazy role as like this swamp witch. So
Right. He's
weird.
like, give it to me. Let me do something different. I'll do something different. And that's probably the only different thing he's ever done on his IMDb. Like this was the one that took him completely like on a whole different range of acting, and it was 5 minutes of fame, literally, and that was it for him.
It probably ruined him though. He's like, I'm good. He probably got some kind of weird rash from that swamp water, and he's like, I'm good.
No more, no more.
Well, look at us. We've gone down another rabbit hole as per usual.
I know, as usual. We're going to stop jumping down rabbit holes. We're going to stay on the main road and get to our destination. But other than that, we just wanted to, like I said, come back, give you guys something. You know, Halloween is coming up. It's Friday. So again, if you're going to be out celebrating or giving out candy or going to a costume party or whatever, you know, let us know. Chit chat with us in the comments. Let us know if Legend is one on your list of all-time faves from your childhood past movies. We would love to hear about it. Comment with us. See, look at my Lily. My Lily done took her hair down. She's getting back into the light.
And if you haven't seen Legend, you should definitely check it out.
You got a hold the Dow Sassoon commercial going on over there, friend. If you don't look good, we don't look good.
Yeah.
The Dow Sassoon. Yes.
Oh my God, we have like very similar hair now. It's like
we do. Yeah. Yes. Except mine's all, you know, nappy locked and yours is curly.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of shape.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like it's the same, what do you call it? Silhouette.
Yes. Yes. Silhouette.
Similar silhouette.
Yes. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, you got anything else, my best friend, to say? Nah. Okay. Well, I will say again, happy birthday. I'll talk to you anyway. But happy birthday. You guys show my co-hostess Cupcake some love. Say happy birthday on our page for her. Give an extra like, thumbs up, share it, subscribe to the channel, you know what I mean? Because we do love when you comment and you show us that you're here and you're with us and you liking the show. And we love that too. And we got more things to come for you guys, but enjoy the week. Make sure to subscribe, follow us here. We're not anywhere else.
Yeah, it
Just
doesn't
right
cost
here.
anything to do. It doesn't cost anything to like or subscribe, and it tickles us. So it's just
Yes,
it's
we love
a way
it.
to say hello.
Yes, we're here for the fun of it all and the nostalgia, and hopefully we bring you guys into loving it like we do. So if we can help share good things, you can share with us as well. But other than that, we're signing off, and we will see you guys. Well, actually, you'll see us before we see you, but we'll be back on 2 and 2 in probably another week. If you subscribe, you'll know when we're here.
That's right.
Bye. Yeah. Toodles, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.